What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with these mind-blowing physique updates from the mutant Nick Walker. So, in terms of that overall muscularity, nobody comes close to Nick Walker, and that is obviously his trump card. The freak factor, the kind of muscle that he has on that frame, that can be so overwhelming that he can take over some of these more aesthetic, more eye-pleasing physiques. Now, he wasn't able to beat Derek Lunsford at this year's Pittsburgh Pro, but it seems like that Nick is gonna be miles ahead of his own Pittsburgh Pro version. So he has talked about his weight right now, and that is still in that 280s range. And we have seen how the man has been in sublime conditioning for weeks on end now. So Nick probably is going to be in that same, or maybe an even better conditioning than what we saw from him at the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro. But at the same time, he's for surely gonna be bigger. And that is something which, in my opinion, can be a very lethal combination. So Nick has very strong side shots too. His most muscular is one of the best out there. His back double biceps, that is probably gonna be the best shot in that entire men's open division. Probably one of the most complete back. And with the improvements that the mutant has made in his quads, his front double, his front lat spread, they have also started to look more streamlined. So have you guys also noticed that there was no talk about Nick's lack of quad sweep and how his legs from the front, they are kind of undersized after this year's Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro, because the man did bring his legs up. So you can see Nick's confidence changing in these past couple of months. I mean, he went from saying that he will be top 3 come Olympia this year to now he's saying that he's gonna beat Samson Dauda and win the Olympia this year. And just looking at how his physique has progressed over these past few weeks, no one is going to be surprised if Nick actually ends up winning the Olympia this year. In fact, you will find Nick in that second place behind Samson Dauda in a lot of predictions out there which are being made by all of these experts and a lot of these podcasts. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So when was the last time you guys saw such an intense death face on Regan Grimes? So this is, without any shadow of a doubt, his best 2 weeks outlook ever. So those 3D looking delts on him, they are making his waistline appear smaller than ever before. So Regan is someone who is already very streamlined and a very aesthetic bodybuilder, but he's making sure that he takes his aesthetics to a whole new level for this upcoming Mr Olympia. And he's kind of tired of people calling him an Instagram bodybuilder, which in my opinion is totally unfair. He has now 4 IFBB Pro wins and he has been on the Olympia stage multiple times. And the funny thing is that he himself will agree that he wasn't 100% in any of the shows that he won. So that conditioning factor, that is something him and his new coach, Dom Super Sliced, they are planning to unlock for the Olympia this year. So Regan is gonna be among the most experienced guys on this year's Olympia stage, with this being his 4th Olympia competition. And you have got to give the credit where it's due. Take a look at his back shots, less than 2 weeks out of the biggest show of the year. So this is one of the most beautiful and one of the most complete back out there. And if Regan ever becomes a bodybuilder whose front and side shots that matches his back, a lot of people out there, they are gonna be in trouble. So the most unique aspect, which makes his back shots look so damn impressive, they are the hamstrings on him. A lot of critics are saying that there is no way Regan will make it into that first call out. But he himself is very determined and is doing everything in his power, everything right, so that he can be top 6 come Olympia this year. And the man is focused on bringing his all-time best. And we have seen it year after year that not everyone on that Olympia stage in that potential first call out, they are 100% on. And this is where all of these guys, they can sneak past them. So it turns out Stefan Matala isn't done. After making his open debut at France Pro, which happened this past weekend, he will also be doing this upcoming Prague Pro. And you have to think that he's doing it to gather some more experience, some more talking points from the judges, and maybe apply a different strategy to peak better for this show and come in with better conditioning. Because the lineup at this upcoming Prague Pro, that is gonna be a lot deeper and a lot more fierce than the one that we just saw at this year's France Pro. And there is just no way Stefan can enter into that show thinking that he's gonna be making top 3. So, are we going a bit too harsh on Stefan Matala? So, Urs Kleschinski winning his first 2 open shows, that also set up pretty high expectations about Stefan Matala too. But Stefan's genetic gifts, they aren't even close to Urs Kleschinski, as one of the biggest weaknesses that Stefan has is that he isn't able to open up very wide in those front shots. It's a simple fact. He needs a better back. He needs bigger, thicker, wider lats. And Urs had those crazy lats, which allowed him to look super wide when he stepped on the stage for the men's open too. So Stefan was the crowd favorite at this past France Pro, and the man got some unbelievable reception. But the fact is he lacked a lot of detail, especially when he turned around. For those back shots, the hamstrings and the glutes, they were looking very smooth and very watery. But that being said, his pro debut is now in the history books, and 4 weeks from this point, that is still plenty of time to fine-tune things and nail the conditioning. So let's just hope he can work things out with Patrick Tuor and does his second show with him. Next up, we have an update from Ramon Dino, another rival of Ramon. Wesley Vissers also just predicted that Mike Sommerfeld, he's going to be the new champ in Classic Physique division this year. So Ramon is kind of an underdog going into this year's Mr Olympia. But as far as I can remember, Ramon hasn't looked this dry, this full, and this separated 2 weeks out of any show that he has done in the past. So those right there are the craziest forearms in modern bodybuilding. So people talk about his lats not being as impressive as Mike or Terence Ruffin, and they just forget that he was beating both these guys with that same structure, and there is that one edge that Ramon has over every other potential top 5 guy in this year's classic lineup. All of these guys have done shows earlier this year, and some have done multiple shows. But Ramon Dino, on the other hand, he hasn't competed at all throughout 2025, and this will allow him to peak 100%, to be very fresh and possibly present his all-time best look come Olympia this year. So Ramon Dino is more than likely to be 100% for this upcoming Mr Olympia, and it's just a matter of how close he is to making his weight cutoff for Classic at the moment. So let's just hope he doesn't have to lose another 10 pounds a day before the weigh-ins, because if that is the case, it's just gonna ruin the entire look, as Ramon has looked absolutely massive throughout this year's Olympia prep, and he's gonna look all flat and very depleted, and he's gonna lose all that pop, all that wow factor if he has to lose another 10 pounds. So everyone out there, they are expecting him to show up all round, all big, and all dense, just the way he did for the Olympia back in 2023. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.